Hi guys, I'm Kelly Harris from LC Power Tools. Let me show you what I'm going to do today with the UDOS. UDOS 51E, 5-in-1, and we have a flat Ferrari hood bonnet that has different defects on there. There's two strips on this, and what it is where, because it's a Ferrari 430 Scuderia, and it had stripes on there. Now what's happened is, you can see the stripe marks there. Someone has detailed this in the past. Clearly that's not actually tape marks, them marks there, they're not tape marks, that's just it's more swirly. So someone has polished this with the stripes on, and they actually damaged the stripes. So we've had to remove the stripes, we're going to polish the paint, and then we'll put the stripes back on. What I'm going to use, we've got various, let's start with the cutting. We've got the heavy to medium cutting, or heavy defect removal, heavy cutting pad. That's the micro wall pad. Then we have a sort of, I'm going to call it borderline heavy medium. So it's heavy medium, so that's the easiest way to look at that is that's the heaviest cut, that's the medium cut, then we have a finishing cut. Of course, the reason why I said it varies in what that cut is, it does depend on what compound you put on it, but more importantly, what mode you put the UDOS in. Because if you didn't know about the UDOS, very brief, rotary, 8mm orbit, 12mm orbit, 15mm, 21. And hopefully you guys watching would understand which way the cut level goes with the orbit. Maybe you don't. If you don't, ask us and we'll explain. We have different orbit sizes to alter the effect of this pad. So we can make this pad a light defect removal right up to heavy defect removal on what mode, which obviously means this heavier cut pad can then become the most aggressive pad. So there's an overlap. There's essentially all overlap in their cutting ability depending on what mode you put UDOS on. And then we have the other equation of what compound you prefer. What compound? That's a good question. What compound do you prefer currently? Would you like us to see, or show you, sorry, would you like us to show you what your favourite compound works on which one of these pads? And we can do that demo. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a selection of modes and pads, choices there, to correct this hood. So obviously I'm now going to polish it. I can't polish it while talking to you. You're not going to hear me. So I'll do half, then I'll explain what I've done. Let's get going. I actually did rotary first. It was too aggressive for this combination of hardness of paint. I went from the rotary round to the P2 position. And in the P2 position, that's a 15mm orbit. So I found the sweet spot was 15mm orbit with the micro wall UDO pad and the Oberk step 1. That gave us a nice shot showing the sort of before and after. It actually probably looks quite nice, but if you look up close, we can actually see micro marring from polishing. So what I've decided to do was, well, we've done the 50-50. I've actually halved that 50. So we've essentially got 2/4 this side and a half the other. So the right hand side, we've got 2/4. What I've decided to do to show you why you should ideally finish down with a finishing polish and or a final finish. In this case, I chose the Oberk step 2, the final sort of polish, the light cut, and I went for the UDO polishing pad, the final pad. So what I actually did was missed out a pad. So we got the 3 pads, but I jumped from this pad to this pad. That's all I needed. I didn't need to use the middle pad. 2 stages basically, a cutting and a polishing, all done in a 15mm orbit. What that's gave us down through the middle here is, hopefully you can see it, is a very nice transition change from no swirls but dull haziness. There's a haze around the bulb and the gloss and the depth and the wetness there. So I could have gone down to P1 maybe on there and gone down to a 12mm orbit and been even finer cut. And I probably would have done that on a black car, but this being a red car and it's slightly more forgiving than jet black and gloss black paint, that's what I stuck with. So we've got that nice 50-50 shot. So what I'm going to do now is we'll finish that hood off. We'll finish and completely finish the hood off. Then we'll go around the rest of the car. And then the next task is the interior. That's Not going to happen with the UDO pad and the UDOS machine and UDO pads. That's going to definitely be the small machines and the micro pads and the tiny little pads from the Lake Country manufacturing range. So what we've had to do with this vehicle is a combination of two lots of polishing, really, with two sort of styles. We've got the larger 5-inch machine, then we've got the smaller 3, 2 and 1-inch pads all around the intricate little areas. So as I say, next thing it's going to be the carbon fibre on the interior and the carbon fibre on the engine bay. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.